So today I will just revise the events of mitosis. What are the events which take place in mitosis? So I am sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like I said, mitosis, it is a type of cell division. Can you see this hand moving?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're seeing this hand move. That's fine. That's fine. So mitosis, it is a type of cell division that results in two daughter cells, each having the same number and kind of chromosomes as the parent nucleus, typical of ordinary tissue growth. So like I mentioned that if a cell has got 2n number of chromosomes, one n from the mother, one n from the father, it has got 2n. So one cell where it has to become two cells. So these two cells will also have 2n and 2n. So it is an equational division, so equal, it will divide it. So this 2n, in order to divide it among 2n and another cell getting 2n, it has to first become 4n. So there is a synthesis which takes place. So let us go through the events of mitosis. So first you have the interphase. The interphase is made up of the phases G1, where the cell grows, G2, then the S phase. In the S phase, DNA is replicated, one DNA strand. This N, 2N becomes 4N here. And a G2, where there is a checking takes place that whether everything has been replicated properly or not before it enters into the mitosis phase. So this interphase has got G1, S and G2, these three phases. This is the largest amount of time of the cell cycle. Then the interphase is followed by prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and in telophase it starts, the one cell starts to become two cells, and cytokinesis takes place and two daughter cells are formed. So let us see the what happens in prophase. So in prophase, you can see that in the S phase, you know that the chromosome was in the form of a thin chromatin strand, and this strand gradually it condenses and starts to condense to form this chromosome. The chromosomes have got a each chromosome or each chromatid has got a kinetochore at the center. It makes the this kinetochore at the center. Each chromatid has got a kinetochore at the center of the cell. It can be at the center, it can be at the end. So it has got a kinetochore. So at prophase, the replicated chromosomes, each consisting of two closely associated sister chromatids, they condense. They start to condense. It was all distributed unevenly. They start to condense, and you can see the form as chromosome. The thing which you heard here about chromosome, that is not seen in interphase. It is there, but it is all diffused. But then they start to condense, and once they start to condense, they start to form this chromosome. Outside the nucleus, the mitotic spindle assembles between the two centrosomes, which have replicated and moved apart. So the centrosomes, having the centrioles, they have spindle fibers or microtubules, which are sort of released from these centrosomes. These spindle fibers are coming out, and so these centrosomes, they replicate and they move apart on towards two poles. They are starting. So outside the nucleus, inside the nucleus, condensations take place. Outside the nucleus, one centrosome starts to form two centrosomes, replication, and they start to move towards the opposite pole. They have moved apart, replicated and moved apart. Okay, so this is the two main events which take place in prophase. So the first event which we see is chromosome condensation. So chromosome condensation, two players are responsible. One is condensin, the other is cohesin. Cohesin holds the two sister chromatids together. It's like a rubber band holding two threads together or two strands together. This cohesin is it's like that. And condensin, what it does, condensin is, it condenses one single strand into smaller units. A long thread, it is coiled like in a if you see in a roll of thread, it is all coiled together. The roll of thread, the round thing on top of it, it starts to coil. So the condensin, it starts to coil like a spring. You have a straight string that you twist into a string, into a magnetic spring. You know, a spring, it is twisted and turned like that. So it's something, it's like that. And this spring like shape, it is held together by this condensin. And in cohesin, you know, the two sister chromatids which are separate, they are joined, attached with each other. So this is the function of cohesin and condensin. So both of these have got a similar structure. They have got a hinge region. Okay, then they have got a two coiled arms. They have got DNA binding head with ATPase region. And you know the function. What is the function of ATPase? Basically, the function is ATP hydrolysis. So this ATP hydrolysis takes place so that energy is released. And DNA binding head, since essentially if I draw it like this, you have the straight strand of chromatin is like this. Okay, so what this condensin does, it actually makes it something like this. So if I draw the condensin like this, this is one condensin molecule, it's holding the two strands together. So there's a second strand which I am drawing. It's holding another strand together like this. So this long strand is condensed like this. And in cohesin it happens that you sorry, it has opened up. In cohesin it happens, you have this single kinetochore. This is the chromosome which I draw. So cohesin, what it does is actually it holds these together. This is the function of cohesin, and the other is the function of condensin. So this is the picture which you see. It's like a rubber band. In mice, the two sister chromatids are held like a rubber band. So there are some models of cohesin binding. it can be like a simple embrace. This is the cohesin. Or it could be like two molecules like a bangle. Two bangles intertwined with each other. It could be something like this. Or it could be that two molecules, they are sort of, they stack like this. So you have the three models. One is the simple embrace, the second is the handcuff, and the third is the cohesin stack. So either or it's like this. In the condensation, like I said, the molecule was straight. Instead of that, the molecule becomes condensed like this. And you have the straight strand, it's held together like this. So this is how condensing works. The next stage is the centrosome cycle and centriole replication. As you know, if you draw, this is a centrosome, and inside the centrosome you have this centriole 90 degree to each other. So we are now talking about the events which are happening inside. We are talking about the events. So you can see, and from these centrioles you have the microtubules coming out, or the spindle fibers. They are produced. It's therefore also known as the nucleation center. So these 90 degree, they are two centrioles are at 90 degree angle to each other. They separate, one here and one here, one here and one here. So they separate. Then the new centriole, it starts to replicate, and two of them are formed inside the centrosome. So essentially this is all inside a centrosome. If you see, it's inside another centrosome. So these centrosomes, they have replicated, and they move apart from each other, So the centrosome is the main MTOC. MTOC, it means, let's type it over here. Microtubule organizing center. It's known as the microtubule organizing center. So you can see that this from these microtubule organizing center, you have astral rays, or these astral rays are nothing but microtubules coming out, and they move apart from each other. And in metaphase, as you can see, they are on two opposite ends. The next event which takes place in prophase, that is the breakdown of the nuclear events. As you know, that in particular phase of in prophase, you have specific cyclins and its corresponding CDKs. So cyclins basically they bind with CDKs and activate CDKs. CDKs are kinases which phosphorylate target proteins. So target proteins are phosphorylated. Similarly, this is the nuclear envelope. This is the nuclear envelope. What happens is that it has got lamins. So these lamins, by the action of a cyclin CDK complex known as the MCDK, gets phosphorylated, and this, you see this net like structure here, they break down, and the nuclear envelope, it disappears. This part I will talk about a bit later. Once I finish metaphase, I introduce you to molecular motors. So this actually says the centrosome movement during mitosis, what happens during late prophase, how the molecular motors move. Just a bit later we will talk about. After that, before that, we finish metaphase. So the first part of the metaphase is the prometaphase. It starts, first thing what happens is the breakdown of the nuclear envelope. So at the end of prophase and beginning of prometaphase, the nuclear envelope, it starts to break down. You know that the nuclear lamins, the lamins are phosphorylated and they break down. After they break down, you know, the chromosomes can now attach to the spindle microtubules via their kinetochores. So if you look at a chromosome, this region is known as the centromere. And this centromere has got regions known as kinetochores. Kinetochore. So that the regions, the kinetochore is the region where the spindle fibers or the microtubules attach. So kinetochores are the region where the microtubules or spindle fibers attach, and the spindle fibers are released from the centrioles in the centrosome. So this you can see that this, and it goes and attaches to the kinetochore. Like Spider-Man releases his web and it attaches to a surface, it goes and attaches to the kinetochore. So these are the events which take place in prometaphase. At metaphase, after the all the spindle fibers have attached to the kinetochores of the chromosomes, the chromosomes, they align in a single line known as the metaphase plate. Metaphase They are aligned in a single phase known as metaphase plate. And the centrosomes are at the spindle fork, and the microtubule which attaches to the kinetochore is known as the kinetochore microtubule. Another topic when this microtubule is being synthesized. This is the microtubule. You have seen the structure of a microtubule. And you can see, I've seen that this tubulin dimers, they go and attach at one end. And the end in which it attaches is known as the plus end. The other end is known as the minus end. Some people also call it the nucleation end. That is, starts from the centrosome. That's the nucleation. So one side you have attaching, and on that is known as polymerization phase. At it increases size. Then when the depolymerization takes place, that event is known as catastrophe. And so this GTP tubulin, that's this tubulin, it to which GTP attaches, and it molecule attaches and it forms GTP tubulin dimer. These GTP tubulin dimers, they, as you see, they attach to this end. So by this way, it starts to increase in one direction. The direction in which it starts to increase is the plus end. Also in this direction, it starts to break down. That is known as catastrophe. And again, addition takes place. It's known as rescue. So these two phases are just going opposite to each other. So the microtubule which is formed on the spindle fiber, it is in a state of dynamic instability. Constantly polymerization takes place and it's becoming long, and constantly depolymerization taking place and it's becoming small. So they happen side by side. If you people have any questions, please ask immediately. That you are not able to understand, please do ask. I hope the recording today will be okay. So these microtubules are also associated with proteins known as microtubules associated proteins, or MAPs. So what are the function of these MAPs? The minus end, one side on the left side which you have seen, this minus end in this side, or the nucleation side, from the centromere, from where the microtubule starts to grow, that is the nucleation side. So there are proteins which help in minus end attachment. Then there are proteins which help in nucleation. That is, the microtubules attach to the centrosomes, and from the nucleus point, the microtubule starts to grow into spindle fibers. Then minus end focusing. Then transport of microtubules. So these microtubules, they are moved from one place to another towards the negative way. There are motors which proteins which take this microtubules from one end, gives force from the plus to the minus, and one from the minus to the plus. So they transport microtubules. Then there are stabilization. This, to stabilize the microtubule, there are proteins. Then there are microtubule association proteins for transport on microtubule tracks. So basically these motor proteins which are present, these the one in pink, these proteins, what they carry, the chromosome on their back, and they walk over the microtubule and move the chromosome on top of the microtubule from one side to the other side. All movement, it doesn't slide, it slides. These microtubule proteins, they walk over the chromosomes. And there are proteins which help in depolymerization, proteins for plus end attachment, proteins for polymerization. there are proteins for cross linking. You find lot of these things which regulate. So there is a concept known as, this is in a dynamic, this microtubule formation is in a dynamic state, and it is known as treadmilling. So when what happens in the minus end, treadmilling means constantly from the minus end these tubulin dimers are removed, and in the plus end they are keeping on attaching. So result is that the size is remaining the same, but there is a constant depolymerization at one end, and the other side is there is a constant attachment. This is known as treadmilling. So let us see the types of microtubules which are formed. So on both the poles, on one pole the centrosomes, from the centrosomes you see these things which are coming as astral rays, they are known as astral microtubules. The ones which are attaching to the chromosomes, they are known as kinetochore microtubules. And you see these microtubules, they are not attached to chromosomes at the kinetochore, but they are known as interpolar microtubules. So these are the three classes of microtubules which are present. Let us see what are the molecular motors. Let us see what are the components. This gray line which you see over here, this is the cell matrix. This is the matrix. To the matrix, you have this is the, these two are the centrosomes. You have astral rays which go and attach to the matrix. There is one protein known as dynein. It's a molecular motor. They are minus end oriented proteins. What they do is they are attached on one end to the matrix, and the other hand they have got leg like structure, and they give a force towards the minus end. So they push towards the centrosome. They are minus end directed motor proteins. They try to move towards the minus end. The minus end is the end inside the microtubule organizing center or centrosome. Then there is another protein known as kinesin 5. This is a plus end directed protein. Its function is, you see it has got two heads, two tails. Why it gives a force or movement towards the plus end on both sides. So you see a bidirectional force coming on, one on that side and one on this side. Another protein is there, the kinesin 4/10. As you can see, it's moving towards the plus end, but on its back it's carrying the chromosome, and it's moving on to, it's walking on top of the microtubules, the transport proteins. Then you see this kinesin 14, it's giving a pressure in this direction. By this, what it is doing, it is organizing. This is an interpolar microtubule. They don't carry chromosomes. it's organizing them in a straight line, like a straight line. So after watching these, you can see that to these two groups of proteins, the kinesin and the dynein, it has got a head domain and a base domain. So basically this is minus end, it walks towards the minus end, and kinesin, it walks towards the plus end. So these proteins, they are molecular motors, they move cargo, and they also organize the microtubules. So this pressure which they push, say for example on this kinesin on the other side, there is another microtubule attached. So one head is giving pressure in this direction and the other head is giving pressure in this direction. So they go towards the opposite ends. So this is how the molecular motors work. So now let us get back to a former slide in prophase. Am I audible? Just one, I'm just taking a feedback.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you have questions, immediately please ask questions. Let's get back to this particular place in metaphase, in prophase. I will try to zoom in here. So during late prophase, you are able to see this? Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a centrosome. This is a centrosome. Then you have a dynein, minus end directed protein, dark green. Minus end directed motors, dark green, which pull on microtubules. So minus end means it's giving a force in this direction. And so what it is doing, it is attached over here. It's giving a pressure on both sides, pressure, and because of that pressure, they are organized, the tubules are organized, overlap with each other because of the minus end pressure. Similarly, look at this pink. It's basically it's a BIMC kinesins. They are plus end directed. They are giving a force. One force is giving a force here. This is giving a force here. And because of this force, there is this pushing force. One in this direction and the other in this direction. So there is a pushing force. So one side you have it's pushing each other and the other side you have it's pulling each other. Because of this, you have a pushing force, then you have a pulling force. From the matrix you can see this particular thing happens. One is in this direction, one is in this direction. Pushing force, there is another pushing force which is pushing it towards, so the microtubules become straight. And because of this direction pushing, it becomes, since if it was haphazard cross, the cross becomes straight. So this is how they align. So after this, let us get back to the next part. We have seen molecule, kinesin and dynesin. Let us have a look at a structure of a kinetochore. There is a protein known as MCAK. Then you have dynein. This is the kinetochore microtubule. There is another protein known as SAMP. Then there are structures here known as fibrous corona. This layer is the chromosome centromere DNA. Then you have the inner layer of the kinetochore. Then you have the outer layer of the kinetochore. By this, and this is how, if you look into details structure, it looks like this. Let us look how the attachment is taking place. You see the kinetochore, how the microtubules are attached to the kinetochore, and on both directions. Now we come to a very critical part, how it is attached. So you see exposed plus end, kinetochore of the microtubule, and this is the minus end of the microtubule. So this is how the attachment takes place on the plus end. And you know that the chromosome is attached here. So now we come about the capture of centrosome microtubules by kinetochore. Look at figure A. Unattached chromosome at pro-metaphase. This dot is the centromere. From here, microtubules are coming out. Here it is unattached. These astral microtubules are coming attached. Then one kinetochore. There are two kinetochores. For each chromatid, one kinetochore. One kinetochore attaches. Then this chromosome slides. There are motor proteins. It slides and comes towards the spindle pole. Then from this direction, it reorients into this direction. Unipolar attachment. And from the other centrosome, another spindle fiber comes and attaches to the other kinetochore. So it's in a trial and error method. So it's a bidirectional, bipolar attachment. So one chromosome from both sides in the kinetochore, are attached by spindle fibers or microtubules. So there are chromosome capture method at kinetochores. The first is the search and capture method. So the first method, look at the search and capture. So look at this. It is a mono-oriented attachment. That is, only, if you can see, only one kinetochore is attached to a microtubule. What happens is, it starts to move, and another kinetochore keeps on searching for the other kinetochore. Another microtubule is coming out and searching. Here it is only one is attached. Another comes, tries to search. It starts search. Suddenly from the other end, another searches and finds, and they are oriented in the metaphase plate. In the self-assembly, what happens? The microtubules, they are in a haphazard manner. They are sort of attached in a haphazard manner. They assemble and become organized, and they become a bipolar attachment. In yeast, this third type, the spindle assembly, what happens? This is the spindle 4, this is both of them, they are not shown. It starts to replicate, and this centrosome, it moves towards the opposite pole, and while it moves to the opposite pole, the centromeres are moved on like this. So let's draw it. There are 2 chromosomes attached like this. They are attached to this spindle pole. Then replication starts to take place. This replicates, it replicates, and say the centrosome 1 is on one side, one chromatid is like this, and the other just a moment, other chromatid is like this. So basically this has this side has replicated and come towards this end, and they move apart from each other. So this is another type of capture. So this is just to show in details. One attachment is known as mono-oriented or monotelic attachment. Now from one centromere, from one side, if both attachment takes place, it's known as syntelic, and this type of attachment is known as bi-oriented or amphitelic. So you can see there are different types of attachment. This is unstable. One attachment, monotelic, is unstable. This type of attachment is also unstable. This type of, in one centromere from both sides is attachment. Only this is the stable attachment. So once it attaches, oh, the attachment is not good. It detaches, again it attaches. So if you look at this picture, you see it has attached to one. The sister is empty. Another one attaches, high tension, correct. Say this has attached to both from one side. One side detaches, and again it waits for another one to come and attach. So it's like a trial and error. So error happens, detach, again a trial, a right attachment will take place. This is a right attachment. From one side to one kinetochore, another side to the other kinetochore of. So this is the perfect attachment which takes place. Next we come across to the movement, chromosome congregation. The chromosomes, they move along the spindle fibers or the microtubules. The first one which you have seen is treadmilling. So from the minus pole there is a minus end. This is the centromere. This is the chromosome attachment. You see here there is polymerization, and here there is depolymerization. So one side add, one side plus, one side minus. So the size remains the same, and they are attached in a one position. Then depolymerization takes place. It starts to become smaller and smaller. Polymerization takes place. When depolymerization takes place, this starts to become smaller, and the chromosome also starts to move towards this direction. So this is how it starts to move. The bridge is breaking and it's also running. Polymerization, it is added, so it moves towards this direction, towards the left direction. Then you have minus end directed proteins pulling the chromosomes. So minus end is towards the centrosomes. You have the same P dynein. What they do, they are molecular motors. They carry the chromosome on their back. They are trying to pull it towards the minus end, and so it's going towards the minus end. So this is how it moves. Congregation means movement of chromosomes towards one end. They are accumulating. Congress Congress, the name Congress, the Indian National Congress was given because it was a group of people. They are meeting in one place, Congress. So chromosomes in the metaphase, they come to one place, that is known as congregation. So these are the mechanisms by one which moves. One is treadmilling, it's the length remains same. Then you have depolymerization. One side starts to break, the one microtubule starts to break and reduce, and the chromosome along as it is the thread is becoming small. This is also moving towards this direction because it's trying to capture the next one. It's dynamic. Polymerization, it's increasing, it's moving towards the other end. Same this protein is moving on top. The microtubule size same, remains the same, but it is pulling the chromosome towards the centromere. Apart from that, non-kinetochore microtubules. So there are these microtubules, they are attaching to not the kinetochore but to the the chromatid itself. They also have a force. They are pushing. They are actually, this is pushing in this direction. Then we come to the anaphase. What happens in anaphase? The sister chromatids, they separate. So you had them like this. So they separate. One separates like this. The other separates like this. And they are moving towards the opposite pole. This is what happens in anaphase. So this is the picture. You can see they are moving towards the chromosomes stained under the live microscope. You can see that stained. You can see they are moving towards others opposite force. Now, what happens during anaphase? You know that the cohesins, look over here, the cohesin, the red lines are the cohesins. At the bottom part here, look here. The cohesin, it is holding the two chromatids together. Now, there is an inactive APC by C complex, a protein. CDC20 comes and this becomes active in an cyclin CDKs are responsible in M phase. This becomes an active APC-C complex. A protein called securin and which binds to another protein known as separase, which destroys cohesin. It's like this. So this complex, what it does is it removes this securin. And separase is over there. What separase does is active. Separase, it dissolves the cohesins. And if it dissolves the cohesins, the two chromatids, they separate, which they were hold together. The cohesins, they separate. So this is a initiation of chromosome separation during anaphase. So this movement, if you see this region, we are increasing the size. You have several proteins which are associated. So this is moving because of force, one force. These are the proteins which are associated. You have anaphase A and anaphase B. In anaphase A, what happens? The force is the kinetochores microtubules, they shorten. Kinetochore microtubules are the microtubules which are attached to the kinetochore. This microtubules, it starts to shorten. Depolymerization or same P or minus directed proteins, they push it towards in this direction. So the force is in one in this direction, one is in this direction. Kachak! It breaks up in the middle. And they move, they shorten, and the microtubule has shortened. You can see it was so long, it became so short. This is the anaphase A. In anaphase B, what happens? Sliding force is generated between interpolar microtubules from opposite poles. So these microtubules, they move away from each other. This centrosome moves away from each other. Result is that they separate. So one force is generated from here, and one force is, the second force is generated from here. So this is anaphase B. So pulling force acts directly on the poles to move them apart. So one is pulling them over here, and another is microtubule is shortening and pulling the chromosomes. One side, they are moving away from each other, and therefore the chromosomes are moving away from each other. Chromatids are moving away from each other, and here the chromosomes are pushing each other away. So this is anaphase. Now we go to telophase. In telophase, they separate and the nuclear membrane starts to form on both sides, and then cytokinesis, they separate away. And so this ends today's class. So if do you have any questions, please do ask me if you have questions. Are you
साइटोकाइनेसिस तो बोल दे
कोंटा कोंटा कोंटा
साइटोकाइनेसिस तो बोल दे
cytokinesis means the two
साइटोकाइनेसिस
so in cytokinesis the two it becomes two cells, it separates, the cell separates, একটার থেকে দুটো হয়ে যাচ্ছে, ঠিক আছে? ওটাতে ওই আমি দেখাচ্ছি তোমায়. So they separate, nuclear envelope forms, and this, there is a contractile ring which is formed over here. They separate it and it becomes two cells. This is cytokinesis. ঠিক আছে?
মানে সাইটোপ্লাজমে ডিভিশন হয় তো?
হ্যাঁ, একেবারে absolutely, you're right. Nisab, questions? Al Shifaq, no questions. Pritodip, Arpon, Shreyas?
No, sir.
Okay. So let us take a class tomorrow also at 10:30. Do you have any problems?
No, sir.
তাহলে 10:30 তে we take a class tomorrow at 10:30. We will take up another important chapter, that is signal transduction. Two most important chapters in cell biology. I want to finish that first.
Hello, sir.
হ্যাঁ, বলো.
বলছিলাম প্রফেসটাই তো সবথেকে লংগেস্ট স্টেজ, এখানে চারটের মধ্যে আর টেলোফেজ সবথেকে শর্টেস্ট।
প্রফেজ ইজ ইন্টারফেজ ইজ দ্য লংগেস্ট স্টেজ।
না, তারপর তো মাইটোটিক স্টেজ আসছে, তাদের মধ্যে যে চারটা আসছে প্রফেজ, মেটাফেজ, অ্যানাফেজ, টেলোফেজ, তাদের মধ্যে তো প্রফেসটা লংগেস্ট।
More or less same, not much difference. Prophase is the longest in that also.
Yes, sir.
But very negligible. That is a very negligible amount. That's a very good question. Okay, then tomorrow. ঠিক আছে, tomorrow I will send you the link again, 10:30 tomorrow. Okay.